This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by OnLive. Coming up, it's time for some no-holds-barred urban warfare with Saints Row the Third. Rad Show.
Welcome to the Totally Rad Show. We've got a great week for you. Today we are talking about Saints Row the Third, which is actually called Saints Row the Third.
Wow, they almost could have gone with that.
They almost could have gone with that.
Marketing.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't. And then tomorrow we're going to be talking about Clint Eastwood's new film, J. Edgar, starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
And then on Wednesday,
let's just do
keep
scatological stuff about all of these.
And then on Wednesday, it's Defenders of the
Realm. There's not much.
Realm. I don't know.
Something
the
poopy.
Ass Realm. It's a great board game. Well, you'll see if we think it's great. But we should mention the contest is still going on for the awesome board game that we love, Wits and Wagers. If you go to the YouTube video where we reviewed that game.
It was last week.
Like it, comment on it, hashtag it, WWC.
Perfect.
And you might win a free copy of Wits and Wagers.
Booyah. Thursday, we're finally back with comics. We're talking about the Umbrella Academy.
And then Friday, it's the game you know you love. Dino Fight.
Dan was a little
back
late.
in action.
Speaking of deterred, we got a great Saints Row background.
Yeah, Saints Row the Third. That is, of course, Dan's wearing knee highs.
Yeah.
I guess.
Good work.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
They look fantastic.
And
on
that
it.
was Nico Cuevas. that
Nico
sent that
Cuevas
in.
sent that in. If you want to have your artwork on our show, you can send a background to fans@totallyradshow.com.
Amazing.
And if you want to use our logo in that background, you can find that logo on our Flickr page, flickr.com/totallyrad.
Ba-bing, ba-bing. Let's get into it.
Yes, we know Modern Warfare 3 came out last week. Yes, we've all been playing it. Yes, we're going to be talking about it. But this week we thought we'd give you an insight into a game that's coming out tomorrow.
Bam.
And that's Saints Row the Third, THQ's follow-up to the Saints Row franchise. Basically what happened when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out is it introduced this idea of open world, urban, what became a genre, really. And the genre sort of has gone in two divergent paths. One path is sort of where Rockstar, as a publisher, has taken it with LA Noire and Red Dead Redemption and GTA 4, and that is the sort of more verisimilitude, trying to create a slice of life that's kind of realistic. Meanwhile, THQ has gone completely the opposite direction with Saints Row franchise.
I
and
don't know
given
what
you
was not realistic about Saints Row 3.
the sandbox, over-the-top craziness. And we've seen games like that too with like, what's the game I'm thinking of? Prototype's kind of like that, but I was thinking of,
What do you do in the game?
The game is called
Just Cause?
Just Cause. I couldn't think of it. I don't know why.
I was like, I don't know what you're doing.
Just Cause. Dan has not played it, although you were on your honeymoon, so basically your experiences, I'm sure, were very similar to the ones in this game.
Disney World.
Yeah.
Very similar
Oh,
to the burg of where does Saints Row take place in?
What's it called? The
Yeah,
generic Town USA. Oh,
was-
Steel something?
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't remember what it's called.
Steel
Anywho,
Beach.
Saints Row,
Yeah.
we all played it at E3, and we got really excited about it, I think, based on the slice.
The PAX, right?
No, we saw it at E3.
Oh, was it E3?
And we saw Vertical Slice, and they showed the first mission from the campaign, and I think we all got really excited about the...
We were surprised at how piqued our interests were.
I'm stoked to hear what you guys think of it.
Tell me,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
what you think of having played the full version of the game.
Wow is sort of all you can say. I mean, it is balls to the wall.
Quite literally.
I was sort of surprised at how many sort of set-piecey kind of moments there were. Wasn't expecting that. I mean, the game starts in sort of a big, like, almost sort of Modern Warfare-esque set piece where you just sort of, it starts and you're like doing this thing. And it was fun. I played it on the PC, which I'm actually very interested about because I kind of enjoyed the combat system way more than I usually do in any of these types of games.
Interesting.
And I'm wondering if it's because I was using a mouse and keyboard. But yes, this game. I mean, it's.
What is the combat system with the mouse and keyboard?
It's the same
Third-person
shooter, but it's just
millions of guys.
like usually
Create
GTA
chaos.
and like even
But
Drake's. I don't enjoy that combat system. I find it broken in my opinion. There's no joy out of it. Whereas this, for whatever reason, was really fun and I got very proficient with it. But I mean, with any of these reviews, I always have to kind of pepper it with the, what did Alex Albrecht think? And what do people who may or may not enjoy this genre think?
Well, just tell us what Alex Albrecht thought.
I didn't like it at all. I don't like these games.
Now, you came out of E3, I remember, and I think you were just as enthusiastic as we were about what you saw, right? That just how wildly over the top it is.
and
it was well written. I remember the
it was
cinematic sequences
hysterical.
were really well written,
Yep,
right?
Yep, yeah, and yes, all of that is true. And
Yeah.
you know, and it starts and I mean, the airplane sequence, it was like, I was like, this is totally, I was like, what? This isn't an open world game. And then it literally all dragged to a halt when it was like, oh, I have to open my cell phone and talk to someone and then try to go to do that. And all those side question marks on the map. And I'm like, that is where it loses.
Well,
me.
the campaign is very focused. I mean, you do have to drive from point A to point B to get to the next mission.
No,
but-
and it is good, but I mean, literally, there are points where the next mission is like you have to like tab open the phone, you know, do this, connect with the guy. The guy's like, hey, meet me at the club or whatever. But it's just that whole. I just don't like any of that rapper crap. You know what I mean? Not rapper as in
Oh, that's what I thought.
like the
W-R-A-P,
rapper. Yeah,
yeah.
the rap of. I can't say rap without it. I mean, it's Saints Row the Third. So for me, just that open world game, I just dislike that whole style of play. And so there is joy to have in this game to me because the writing's so fun, because it's so wacky, because it's so over the top. But at the end of the day, I just constantly drag into that halt of I don't enjoy what I'm doing right now.
Beyond the open world stuff, how was the mission? How are the missions?
They were pretty good. I mean, you know, they were very, like I said, some of them were more set piecey than I thought. Like crazy stuff where, you know, you're just like, it flows from one thing to
Crazy
another.
stuff doesn't begin to approach it. I mean,
yeah.
crazy stuff is like, so there's a mission where what you have to do
Yeah.
is drive as fast as you can in a car
Yeah.
while the person in the back seat
Got it.
pets a tiger.
Oh.
And if the person in the
thought-
back seat doesn't pet the tiger fast enough, the tiger scratches you and you crash your car. Because that happens
Hey,
ever.
it's called
There's
realism.
a chase sequence out of an S&M club
Yes.
where you're in a Chinese hand cart.
Oh,
What are those called?
Pedicab.
Pedicab.
Yeah.
No, that's not it either.
Rickshaw.
Rickshaw, thank you.
You're in a rickshaw that is being pulled by a ball and gag.
Yeah.
What do they call those? Bring out the gimp.
Gimp. Sorry.
And everyone's in those, and you're telling your guy to go faster, and you're shooting, and then when they crash into each other, they explode for some reason.
Weird.
There is a mission type where you're on an ATV, and you're on fire, and anything you touch explodes, and you have to go around the circuit as fast as you can, and if you touch other things and make them explode, it adds time to your.
Now, we don't like.
this is
we don't
realistic.
have that sense of humor where something like that's funny.
Right.
And we were surprised when we saw it at E3
how much
that it
it
actually
was.
did seem funny and fun anyway.
Yeah, so that's what I was most excited about,
Okay.
is that this what turned out to be the first mission, which is the mission they showed us at E3, is you're about to rob a bank and you're dressed up as yourselves, which is beautiful and meta and really a smart, interesting idea.
And it looks cool.
And looks cool. And now there are lots of other, I think, really fun ideas that happen like that. Like there's a guy that you meet who's one of your main cohorts who you free from this S&M bondage club.
Right.
And he only talks to you with a microphone to his throat through the modulated voice thing. You know how they do?
Oh, yeah.
Which is a really funny idea.
Yeah.
Constantly talk, and there are many missions, or there are several missions where it reaches those heights again. But there are far too many, in my opinion, where it's just the base humor and it's just going for the easiest joke. Like I'm escaping this situation completely naked because I was drugged, and you walk into a room and it's got a fisting machine that's fisting. Like, it's just the easiest joke. Like, just the easiest joke.
I don't
right?
know. That doesn't sound
You were on your honeymoon. You know. You know.
What about like?
honeymoon
I remember I was
with
said like all of a sudden you're like in a jet and you're flying. Like,
Now that
as-
is where this game shines. For me, the just pure chaos that
Yeah.
you can create, and the thing that they do so very well is, in the campaign, you're given big things very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
You're given missiles to shoot from the sky. You're given rocket launchers. There's missions. There's a whole mission type just called mayhem, where you're supposed to create as much damage as you can. There's another mission type called insurance fraud, where you just have to like dive in front of cars and make them hit you so that you can collect on the insurance money. And it becomes like that PSN game Pain, where
Yeah,
you're just
yeah.
or Burnout, where you're just trying to bing into. So the level of the magnitude of chaos and how good it looks and how crazy everything can get, and you're creating tons of destruction and raining death upon thousands is really fun, and especially shines in co-op. I had a chance to
Yeah,
play a
I
lot of
didn't-
co-op with
yeah.
Zav from Shack News, and the co-op in this game is exactly how it should always work. You can bring your character in. Customization in this game is
Oh, the
off
character
the charts.
customization is ridiculous.
And not just character customization, you can customize your crib, you can customize your team,
Your crib?
you can
Your car.
customize your cars. They're called cribs.
The car
in the game.
customization was really cool.
Tons of
the
it,
fact
very
that
deep.
As they were going along, like the first couple missions are customize your character, customize your car, and I thought that was really smart because those are things I would never
I think
do.
you mean your ride.
Sorry, your ride
Yeah.
and your sniznap,
You
which is what they call
you
the
have to do your
clothes.
sniznap. They do the campaign does a really good job of introducing you to each mission type, and you can always do more of any of the missions.
Yeah.
And the game is just all about accumulating money and reputation.
Yeah.
Reputation levels you up, and you get you to unlock certain perks and things that for your character.
Yeah, the
and
leveling
money.
stuff was actually
The
pretty
money,
cool.
there's so many cool things to do with money. Like, you can actually buy buildings in the game and then generate income from those buildings. Like, I bought the hospital because I was like, I'm gonna show up here a lot. And you know, there's so many, like, you get really, really early in the game, you get a pimp, like, top of the skyscraper penthouse as one of your cribs, and you get tons of cribs in the game. And
Cribs are housing.
You can just like take a running leap. There's like a pool at the top of this skyscraper. You can just take a running leap off, and your guy goes, and you pull a parachute, and you go down.
Awesome.
And just the level of
Yeah.
wacky craziness.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, I did not find the shooting to be very fun, and I think it has more to do with just that sort of B-level AI that these games sort of always employ by pure necessity, really, because there's so many people and so much going on, and it really just becomes a physics.
Ping pong match.
Yeah.
It's all you're doing is blowing people's face off and watching them crumble.
Yeah, but there's so much shooting that you have to do in this game, and there's all the missions you're just mowing down
people down,
thousands of people.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this is an M-rated game. Did I mention that?
I think so. With the fisting thing.
Fun, not fun.
I didn't have much fun because I don't like those types of games. I really have a hard time finding the fun, even when it is fun. If you don't have that same feeling as I do, I think there's a lot of fun to have.
Yeah, I was disappointed overall based on how high my expectations were
Right.
after that vertical slice. I had if you have a friend and you kind of are into this kind of sick humor of it, I think you can have fun with that. And even if you're not, if you have a friend that will buy this game with you and you'll play co-op together, that's where. I mean, for example, Zav and I were playing the insurance fraud thing, and he would get in a car, and I would stand on the thing and wait for him to come by, and I would leap in front of his car, and it was just, we would laugh and laugh and laugh, and you can do all the missions in the game together. You can bring your customized character into each other's games. You can continue from where you need to continue from, and they can continue from where they can. It's so seamless and works so well that that's really the win, I think.
And that might
It's
have
just
changed it for me. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I bet you would have loved
I
that.
probably would have.
But
Didn't play it that way.
Saints Row, that
Fist machines. All right, everybody, be sure to stick around. We're going to be answering one of your Twitter questions right after this. But first, we want to thank our sponsor, Jeff Cannata.
Hey, I get to tell you about OnLive. Listen to this. If you're still buying video games at a game store or using a slow downloading service, you haven't discovered the future of gaming.
We've been hearing a lot about OnLive, so I'm very excited.
OnLive is the cool new way to play high-end games on demand with no discs and no game downloads required. You simply log on to OnLive game service from whatever PC, Mac, or tablet you have, and you start playing hit games like LA Noire, Saints Row the Third, Deus Ex Human Revolution. You can also play the game on your TV with the OnLive game system, or start your game at home and then pick it up throughout the day from any nearby machine that has broadband.
And now that's actually
Pretty
kind of,
slick.
that's pretty interesting.
It lives in the cloud. Your save game lives in the cloud.
I like that.
OnLive is also the best way to demo games because you can play 30 minutes of an actual game for free. In fact, OnLive is the only place you can demo some new release games like Lord of the Rings War in the North, which is I hear, a very cool loot game.
Yeah, we played it at E3 or PAX or something.
And Batman Arkham City. Those demos simply don't exist anywhere else. OnLive has every kind of game you could want, from new releases to indies to classics, from more than 50 top publishers. You can buy them, you can rent them for a limited time, and it works literally with any PC, Mac.
So cool.
It's great. Some people have a misconception that you need the little box. You don't. You can play it from your
Nice.
Yeah. Check it out.
Cool, awesome. Well, that is it for the show.
And send in your backgrounds. We love getting those. Fans at TotallyRadShow.com is where you send them, and you can see your name in lights. And by lights, I mean
Lower thirds.
digitally projected.
Join us tomorrow for our review of the movie J. Edgar.
Today's Twitter question comes to us from @WonderRob. What would be the worst/best video game character to have as a roommate?
Oh, man. You know who I think would be a great roommate?
Who?
Dalzim. You're
Yeah,
like, hey,
he, like,
Dalzim,
get shit
hand
for you."
me that soda. Whoop, whoop.
That would be really funny. Dan?
If I was still single in my 20s,
Yeah.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah!
He's pathetic.
He would take me on the
Amazing.
town. We'd have amazing adventures.
In your leisure suits.
Yeah.
Oh, it never worked out well.
I was
for him.
gonna say Laura Croft could be fun.
Well,
she has one. She's very nice to look at.
It's not girlfriend,
Two,
it's roommate.
No,
But she probably has hot
no.
friends.
She has hot
She's
friends.
hot. She has hot friends. But two, stinking rich. So you're like living in the sort of shitty closet of
No,
the
she's
mansion.
rebelling against dad, so she doesn't want you to even know that she has all that
Yeah,
money.
exactly. Oh,
She's living
No,
in...
I don't want the reboot version of
Yeah.
her. The like cut hair, short hair girl. I want ponytail.
I think a bad roommate would be any
dinosaurs.
of the slimes from Dragon Quest.
Yeah, that's true.
Slimes, you know. Or a zombie. Pick a zombie. Bad
Goomba.
roommate.
Yeah.
Although, you know who would be a great
Wonder
roommate?
Rob.
I just thought Mario.
Yeah, he'd be
He's
great.
always fixing the sink for you.
I know, but I think it would get old. I'd be like, I know it's you, Mario. You don't have to say it every time you walk in the room. It's me, Mario.
I
You're like,
know.
Mario, get over it. I know you're
No,
you.
you're home.
I
You
see.
get it.
I see you. It's me. Shut up.
It's me.